Alright, Shalom Yasharallah. Peace is all first and foremost. As always, I want to give all praises and honor and glorification to Abanawa Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Bahashem Hawakakadash. Double honor to our elders apostle of GMS whole world, and peace and blessings to the hopeful Lekakiam out there pushing this gospel, this doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in righteousness, in sincerity, and in truth, and also shalom, wabarakatuh. Peace and blessings to the brethren and a few sisters that may be tuning in and listen, learning, studying under the vibration of Yahweh Hashem Bahasham Hawakakadash. Yahweh, that's the Hebrew name of whom the world egotistical God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahweh means he is, he to be, he exists, the being that existed before time, also known as the Ancient of Days. And Yahweh Shach, that's the Hebrew name of his beloved Son, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai means he who save, he who deliver, the savior of the elect or the nation of Israel, which also called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. According to the Bible, all God's chosen people, Bachasham Bacha, which means in the Sham name, or called Spirit Kadash Holy, in the name of the Holy Spirit, which allow us to be able to understand this truth. This was in the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue, the language that Yahweh Shai spoke to Saul, which became Paul on his way to Damascus, the language of the heavens. And once again, toward Yahweh Shai for allowing us to be able to understand this truth. I want to do a lesson real quick on this article that you see in front of you, because the world is changing. The world is changing. America is not the only superpower out there. At one time, it was America was the only sole country that was able to do whatever they want with no repercussion, with no consequences. It was unilateral. They were able to do whatever they want. And later on, and right now, what do you have? Right now you have a multilateral society, because like a multilateral not society, but multilateral dimension, because like now you have country emerging as powers. Like you have China, you got Brazil, you got Russia, you got India, you got South Africa, you have what else? You have Saudi Arabia. This country are emerging. This country, America can no longer use to do what she did in the past, man, because now these countries, these other countries, these small countries, now they have options. America hegemony is not what it used to be. China right now is investing heavily in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, in DR, and that's scared the hell of America, man. And that's exactly why you see this guy Joe Biden is calling on these African nations to meet up to protect their interests against the Russians and the Chinese, man. And that's exactly what it's all about. He's not doing it because he cares about the Africans, because the U.S. has been taking advantage. The U.S. has been taking advantage of these African nations for centuries, man. For centuries, stealing their natural resources, slavery, especially these European nations, the French, who else, man? The Germans, the Italians. They don't give a damn about these African nations, but they calling on them right now because they want them to side with the United States, man. That's what's taking place right now. There's a chess game, and countries want countries to be with them. So let's go over the article real quick. And it says Biden faces African resistance on anti-Russia stance media. And it says the U.S. president has kicked off a summit. A summit is the highest peak of a mountain. The highest peak of a mountain, that's a summit. That's why G7 summit, G20 summits, these top countries, they usually come together to plan for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 15 years, how they're gonna go about their businesses. And it says the U.S. president has kicked off a summit with the continent leader amid frustration over the Ukraine crisis, because a lot of African nations, they down with Russia. They don't sanction Russia. They don't condemn Russia. They with Russia, and that caused the U.S. to be frustrated. And it says U.S. President Joe Biden has opened a Washington summit with nearly 50 African nations. He's pledging increased investment in aid at a time when he's also reportedly struggling to keep the continent leaders on board with his campaign to punish and isolate Russia over the Ukraine conflict. And that's exactly what it is. Because usually countries don't have friends. Countries have interests in these other nations. Now the playing field is level. Now Russia is on the scene. Now China is on the scene. Guess what? They wanna do business with these other countries, man. Now they have options. This is African nations are reportedly largely ambivalent about an increasingly frustrated over Biden's effort to rally support for Kyiv and global condemnation of Russia. The Washington Post reported early this week on Wednesday, Biden administration convened the first U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit in 8 years, promising $15 billion in new investment on the continent. And we know that's all bullshit, man. That's all lies, because the U.S. never intended for Africa to be developed, man. They want Africa to be in a subservient, like a banana republic, man. They don't want Africa to be developed because Africa is rich in natural resources, gold, oil, diamond, but they're not allowed to take advantage of the resources so that they can feed the people. These resources, these devils feel like these resources belong to them. And it says the event comes as the White House is working with mixed success so far to coax support from African nations that have been hit especially hard by these consequences of the war in Ukraine, especially a wheat shortage and a disruption in the food supply, but also rising fertilizer and fuel prices, the Post says. So ever since this conflict took place, in Ukraine, prices for wheat, in petrol, and oil has been increasing. It's gonna keep increasing in 2023. Gonna be a chaotic year, man. This is the year where this guy was push for the MOTB, man, so we can get the hell out of here. And it says the media outlet The Hill noted that African leaders are skeptical that the U.S. is a reliable partner, and that's exactly what it is. These countries, they no longer trust you devils, man. They know how you move. They have your track record, your history on how you deal with it and how you dealt with these countries. Speak for itself, man. They don't see us as trusted. Cameron Hudson, an African expert at the Center for Strategic and International Study, told The Hill they see us as kind of unreliable, and the summit is the start of an effort to try to rewrite that narratives. So these leaders, man, these African nations, you cannot deceive them no more, man. Everybody see through your bullshit. You throw, you finish, you out of here. So let's get some precept real quick, man. That's exactly what it is, man. That's exactly what it is. These nations, they have seen your shame. You can no longer deceive these nations no more. Nahum. That's exactly what it is. Esau right now is like an open book. Everybody can see through your bullshit. It's Nahum 3 verse 5. Nahum 3 verse 5. Nahum 3 verse 5. Matter of fact, I'm just Salakia. Let me just highlight this real quick. Nahum 3 verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredom of the well favored harlots, and that's exactly what it is. At one time, America was well favored. Every country wanted to be like her. Desired to be like the whore, man. Adopted her ways, her philosophy, her ideas, but not no more. The mistress of witchcraft, and that's exactly what America is about, man. Witchcraft, deceiving the nations, and that's exactly why these nations are mad, right? That self nation through her whoredom, and that's exactly what it is. That's how America has been able to deceive these nations to her false superiority, her false narrative, her false hope, her false dream, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts. So the Lord Yahweh Shimshai is against this place. No matter how much money you're trying to put into your economy, it's gonna come down, because the Lord Yahweh Shimshai his purpose is to destroy Babylon. Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and that's exactly what it is. So the Lord is exposing you, showing off your shame, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, in the kingdom thy shame, and that's exactly what it is. So you no longer have the upper hands over these nations. At one time, your secrecy, I was able to work, because it was a time for the men of sin to be revealed. But now we are living in a time where these devils are being fully exposed, man. That's the time we're in. Esau is fully exposed right now, and he can no longer hide himself. This is Luke chapter 8 verse 14. Luke chapter 8 verse 17, and it says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. And that's like what it is. Your track record of all your wicked, evil deeds that you have done in the past to these nations, guess what? They have the record, man. They know about it, and that's exactly why you cannot be trusted. These nations don't trust you, even though they laugh at you, even though they think you think that they are with you, but in actuality they are against you. And once the Lord Yahweh Shimshai put his spirit on them, they're gonna turn their back onto you, man. Even your own allies, your NATO, your EU so-called friends, they're gonna turn on you. Why? Because ultimately that's prophecy. Let's get one more precept. This is Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 49, I think Jeremiah 49 verse 10. Jeremiah 49 verse 10, and it reads, but I have made Esau bare, naked, exposed, right? I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbor, and it's not. And that's exactly what it is. You are fully exposed. You are fully exposed. You can no longer be trusted, and these nations, they see through you. That's exactly why Biden is calling on these African nations to meet up to carry out the agenda of the U.S., but not no more, because of the U.S. hegemony, the influence over those nations are being diminished, are no longer what it used to be. Why? Because we are living in a time where there's a paradigm shift, a changing in the government. You have countries that are emerging as superpower now. We think they are emerging as superpowers, but we know the world to come is the world of Yasharallah. That's exactly what it is, man. So that was a lesson, man. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to say all praises and honor and glorification to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Hashem, Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to our elders, apostle of GMS whole world. Until next time, Shalom.